Spooky season has arrived, and this year the energies are more potent than ever. With the new moon in the deeply psychic sign of Scorpio aligning with Halloween, Samhain, and the Day of the Dead, the veil between worlds is extraordinarily thin, making this an opportune moment to tap into something very profound. On November 1st, the Scorpio New Moon opens a powerful portal for enduring transformation, inviting you to call in your deepest desires. And what makes this energy even more potent is the trine between the new moon and Saturn in the sign of Pisces, ensuring that your new moon manifestations will stand the test of time. As we're just coming out of a period of intense astrological turbulence, this new moon is the reset that we've been waiting for. A moment to slow down, recharge, and dive deep into our inner world. In this video, I'll walk you through everything you need to know to harness this powerful, positive new moon in Scorpio energy to manifest your biggest long-term desires, including a forecast for all 12 signs. But before we dive into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an important astrology update. I post a new forecast or tutorial every single Saturday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, and you don't want to miss that. And also give us a little like and comment below and let me know what your intentions are for this upcoming new moon in Scorpio. And if you want to go even deeper into the forecast for this new moon and understand how it's impacting you in a much more detailed, nuanced way, make sure you download my Astrology 101 quick reference guide so you can map out your birth chart and understand everything that goes on there and how it connects to not just what we're talking about in this forecast, but all of my forecasts and tutorials that I create for you for free here on YouTube. The Astrology 101 quick reference guide is also free. The link for that is down in the description below. All right, that being said, let's get into the general forecast, and please don't skip this. This is going to provide an important context for what we're going to be getting into in your forecast for all of your signs, sun, moon, and rising. So this new moon energy, I actually really like. This is the first time in a while where I've been able to deliver a positive forecast for you guys where I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. And it's much needed. We've just come off of a very turbulent eclipse season, a really crazy supermoon energy that was full of all sorts of interesting things. That one was a mixed bag. There was a lot of really positive stuff going on, but also a lot of challenge, a lot of crisis, a lot of energy around having to pivot and make specific changes. And this is going to be a little bit different. This is kind of where we're coming back into ourselves. Scorpio is the one sign that is very solitary, very private, very internalized, but also very powerful. This is about gathering your internal psychological and psychic strength so you can catapult whatever it is that you want to manifest forward into reality. And this isn't just about something that's happening right now or this month. This energy is actually going to be very long standing. And so this new moon in Scorpio is a really potent portal for setting intentions for something that you want to create, that you want to have last, that you want to have endure the test of time. This is because, as I mentioned at the start of the video, this new moon at 9 degrees in the sign of Scorpio is going to be in a really beautiful trine very close with Saturn in the sign of Pisces. This is a powerful energy for taking something out of the ethers, because this is a very etheric, very imaginative, very creative sort of energy where it's kind of like there's an impression, there's an idea, there's a vision that we have for our future, and it's connected to something that we truly and deeply desire. And this is the moment where we can cultivate the energy to draw that in like a magnet, but also to take that thing that is maybe not so practical, that is more energetic, that it's more idealistic, and turn it into something that is real, tangible, and put in the work to make it so. This isn't just about manifesting and like woo-woo and, putting good vibes out there and doing affirmations. This is about getting in touch with this sensation of really deep desire and passion for something that we want to move forward with, and putting that out there into the energetic field, and then actually taking action on it. So when we do all of these things at the same time, when we have a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, a lot of that visceral power behind what it is that we intend, and then we actually create a plan and take that big dream and take action steps toward making it a reality, that's where the magic happens. They always say that luck is where opportunity meets preparation. This is where you're going to do the energetic, the mindset, the psychological, and the psychic preparation. And then you're going to actually make a plan and you're going to start taking action steps. And then the opportunities are going to be drawn into you like a magnet. Scorpio is a very magnetic energy. It either draws things in that you really want or it repels away what you don't want. That being said, with this Scorpio new moon, if you are lying to yourself about what it is that you actually want, you're not going to get the thing that you're intending at the time of this new moon. That's kind of a funny thing about Scorpio. Scorpio knows when you're lying to yourself. Scorpio knows when anyone's lying. And Scorpio is all about getting in touch with that raw desire that maybe we don't even know that we have for something. It's not about surface level, like, I want a new car because, I want to show off to my neighbors. I want something fancy. It's more about like the sensation of what you want, and maybe even more like the psychology behind it, the why behind it. There has to be something bigger than that. Like, do you want a new car? Really? Is that what you truly want deep down inside? Or do you want freedom and the ability to go wherever you want, whenever you want? Do you want the sensation that having a vehicle, a working vehicle, gives you? Does it make you feel free? Does it make you feel adventurous? Does it make you feel like you can do whatever you want? Does it make you feel safe and secure that you have a reliable mode of transportation? What is the feeling that you want? That is what you are intending to manifest at the time of this new moon, not the thing that you think that you want because your brain has put together a picture based on A, B, C, and D that you've, seen in society, or that you're trying to kind of piece together from this feeling, because sometimes our brain likes to fill in the gaps. Like, we feel a certain way and our brain's like, well, this is the thing that will match that feeling, right? So what is it that you truly want? And then kind of go from there. This is a really powerful time for not just manifesting right now, but the things that you start to set in motion over these next 2 weeks, the things that you energetically set in place around the time of this new moon on November 1st, and that you start taking small little baby steps toward actually creating something around over the next 2 weeks ahead until we reach that full moon point. Those things are going to start to manifest. But this is really about the long term. You'll really see the true results of what it is that you're putting in motion about 6 months from now, when we have a full moon in the sign of Scorpio. And so that's important to make note of as well. This is not like a short-term energy. This is something that's going to take us for a while, right? And so that's going to be a big part of this too. And the other really important thing that's going on here that I do want to mention that makes this new moon even better than it already is, I really like this energy so much, is the fact that we have a beautiful grand trine forming in the water signs, not with the new moon itself, but with Mars, which is at the 29th anaretic degree in the sign of Cancer, making an exact trine with Neptune. And it's in a beautiful grand trine with Mercury, which is in the sign of Scorpio. This matches so nicely with the new moon energy because, first off, Mars is actually the dispositor of the sun and moon, the ruler of the new moon, because Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So whatever Mars is doing is going to show us an additional layer of information about how things are going to go as a result of this new moon. And also, it's going to kind of be a bigger driving force with this new moon energy. And so we have Mars at its fall in Cancer, doesn't love to be there, but today in particular, it's highly supported because it's in this beautiful grand trine energy. And it's also slowing down. It's going to be, going retrograde pretty soon here in like roughly a month. And so, it has some things going against it. Mars likes to charge forward. It doesn't like to feel, it likes to do. And Mars in Cancer is a very feeling energy. You're acting on your feelings. If you're not all the way in it emotionally, it's just not going to take off. You're not going to do it. Mars isn't like that. But right now, what's going on is this beautiful energy with Neptune, which is another dreamy, imaginative, etheric, sort of like impressionistic energy, is in a grand trine with Mars, which is the doing energy, and Mercury, which is discernment, planning, plotting, scheming. And so this is another really beautiful energy for taking something that you want to actually take action on and thinking it through and actually creating a plan and actually making something happen. This is about taking something that is normally not realistic and actually being able to do something with it where you can actually make it real right now. This is also a really beautiful energy for brainstorming on actions that you need to take, for having really important conversations where you need to be direct, but also very compassionate and very thoughtful about your words, because you want to kind of like make sure that you're not being passive aggressive if there's something that you need to say here. Mercury and Scorpio can be very direct, very blunt, very cutting with its words. And then Mars and Cancer is very passive aggressive. But when you put these together in a trine and you add Neptune in the mix, this can be utilized in a really beautiful way. Like you're almost going to be psychic in your ability to read and understand other people because of that energy of Mercury and Scorpio paired with all of this. And if you are somebody who's, a psychic or who's just very intuitive, you'll probably find, especially if you have a lot of energy in the water signs, that you're going to be very sharp. You're going to be very on point around this time. So this is a great time to dive deep, get in tune with what's going on internally, and to pick up messages, not just from inside of you, but from outside of you on an energetic, etheric level. Again, the veils are super thin already at this time. This is a very important solar marker in the northern hemisphere where it's long been associated with the ability to tap into other dimensional realities, other worlds, to tap into connections with our ancestors, with other entities. And so this only makes it 10 times more potent. Like this is a psychic day, a very highly psychically attuned day. Like if this is something that appeals to you, use it now, because it's not going to last for very much longer, and we're going to be back thrown into the crazy chaos of everything that's been going on. Astrologically, it's not as disjointed and chaotic toward the end of the year, but there's still intensity. And so this is where we're able to kind of focus on something a little bit different, right? So I feel like this is a fun energy. So use it wisely. And let's get into exactly how you're going to use it for all of your signs, sun, moon, and rising. Of course, your rising sign is the most predominant energy. Your sun sign is secondary, and your moon sign is important to listen to as well, although this energy is more internalized and subjective. And so let's dive in first with Aries and Aries rising. Okay, so for Aries and for Aries rising, and yes, I am wearing some fancy new blue blockers. We'll see how that goes. But for Aries rising, the new moon in the sign of Scorpio on November 1st is happening in your 8th house. This is the house of deep psychological inner work and deep psychological intensity. Like this is where your fears and your anxieties that stem from past trauma and past experiences earlier in your life tend to dwell. They tend to kind of situate themselves here. And so this is a powerful and profound time to address those types of things. If there's anything that you are feeling fear around right now that is not necessarily connected to the present moment and what's going on in the here and now, now's the time for you to actually go in and address it. Now's the time for you to acknowledge that and do whatever it is you need to do to face it, to heal it, to transform it, to alchemize it. So that way you come back stronger. So that way this thing is not holding power and control over you and dictating your decisions in the present moment anymore. So whatever it is that you have been holding on from your past, that baggage, that fear, that anxiety, that trauma, this is the time to let it go. This is the time to work on healing through it, I should say. It's not going to just go away overnight, but this is the time to acknowledge it, address it, make a plan, and start putting in the work to kind of move past it and move on in a big and really powerful way. This is also the area, of course, of other people's money. It's the house of debt. It's the house of joint finances. It's the house of taxes and inheritance. And this is a really beautiful energy for setting intentions around drawing in money or paying off debts. plain and simple. And so if you're somebody who maybe has a lot of debt piled up, this is a really great time for you to energetically draw in what you truly and deeply desire for yourself, that sensation that you want to feel when you are debt free, and channel that into your intentions for the new moon. And then from there, go in and start making a plan and take little small baby steps, little actions every single day over the next 2 weeks until the full moon to set that in motion. And that could be as small as like setting aside just a couple of dollars every day to pay off that debt. Similarly, if you are somebody who wants to start investing, starting like a retirement fund, saving for something, this is the time to do a very similar thing. So why do you want that? Like what sensation, what feeling is driving your desires financially? What steps do you need to take? And then baby steps every day for the next 2 weeks. Like energetically, that's going to do a lot. And then 6 months from now, you're going to be absolutely astonished at where you're at with your plans and your intentions then. For Taurus and for Taurus rising, this new moon is happening in your 7th house, and this is a beautiful time for you to draw in greater intimacy in all of your close personal connections, especially in your romantic relationships. Now is the time to just channel the sensation that you want to feel in your relationships. Do you want to feel safe? Do you want to feel a sense of trust? Do you want to feel a sense of really deep intimacy where you know each other inside out? Do you want to have those deeper, more meaningful conversations? What does that look like? What does that feel like for you? Channel that energy into your intentions. And if you're not partnered, this is the time to draw in that type of intimacy, that type of trust, that type of loyalty that you truly and deeply crave in your relationships moving forward. And this is also a really great time to set intentions around creating deeper relationships with your friends, your social networks, people that you surround yourself with by choice. And then from there, you have to actually take action. So what's one little thing that you can do every day for the next couple of weeks to deepen the intimacy in your connection with your partner, with your best friend, with all of your friends? What's the best way that you can facilitate trust so you can feel like you can open up more? Do little small things every single day to create in the relationships you have right now the intimacy that you crave, the level of connection that you crave. And from there, it's going to spill out into drawing in new connections that give you more of that. And so this is going to be a really beautiful time for that. Anything you want to set intentions for in partnership, and especially if there's a healing process that you need to go through within your partnership, now's the time to set that in motion. First, energetically, because we don't start things like actually physically on the new moon. So first, emotionally, psychically, energetically, and then kind of going through, and actually taking action steps from there. And then for Gemini and for Gemini rising, this new moon is happening in your 6th house, which is the house of health, work, and daily routines. And this is a beautiful time to set intentions for all of the above. If there is something that you truly need, want, and desire for yourself when it comes to your work, if you crave deeper meaning in the work that you're doing, like if you want to do something that you're truly and deeply passionate about, but that's not what you're doing when it comes to your job, now's the time to draw in that energy. What does that feel like for you on a day-to-day basis? Imagine it, embody it, set that in motion, set that intention at the new moon on November 1st, and then start taking small little baby steps every single day for the next couple of weeks from November 1st onward to actually start to create what it is that you want in your working life, in your day-to-day reality. And that doesn't have to be for work. If you want more meaning just in your day-to-day existence, in your day-to-day life, in your day-to-day experiences, you can draw that in. This is also a time to create profound healing on a physical level, even through the psychological work, through the energetic work, through the emotional work, because that is all very Scorpio. With Scorpio occupying your 6th house, your mental health reverberates very clearly into your physical health. For everyone, there's a connection, but for you, it's much more strong. Your mental health and your psychic health, all of those things are so, so important. And now is a really great time to set intentions for better practices on a day-to-day basis for self-care when it comes to your mental health. All of this is going to help you reach your long-term goals and plans on a bigger level, especially 6 months from now. But you have to actually put in the work. So you're setting the intentions, you're feeling it, you're drawing it in at the time of the new moon. And then for the next 2 weeks until the full moon, So the new moon's on November 1st. For the next 2 weeks after that, you're taking small baby steps every single day that will eventually lead to your big goal and plan. For Cancer and for Cancer rising, this new moon is happening in your 5th house. This is a beautiful energy. You're going to have a grand trine with your ascendant sun or moon, especially if your ascendant sun or moon is anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees. You're going to be feeling this really, really nicely. And even if it's at the end degrees, you have that other grand trine we talked about at the start of this video, the grand water trine. So definitely listen in on that, because that's going to be impacting you more so than any of the other signs. And so you have really good vibes going on here at the time of the new moon. Use it wisely. This is a really great time to connect with something that you're deeply passionate about, that you love, and that you crave more of in your life, whatever it is that brings you joy. This is also a powerful time to set intentions for long-term goals and plans for education or teaching something that you're deeply and truly passionate about. So there's something that maybe you want to learn that you've just felt really called toward, but it's more like fun and you know, it's not necessarily practical. You can make it practical, and you know, getting more formal education around it is going to help you to do that. So that's a really great intention. This is also a really great time to set intentions around if there's something that you're really passionate about that you've been deeply tied to for many years that maybe you want to teach others. Great time for that too. Really solid time for setting deep intentions. If you are somebody, Cancer, who is wanting and craving a child, this is a time to set really, truly like deep intentions around that. Like really feel the why behind it, the emotions behind it, that true deep core desire, and then put that into your intentions at the new moon, and then take small steps every single day to make that happen. That could look like improving your health. That could look like, you know, having a little romance, which this is a great energy for too. That could look like a lot of things, but whatever it is that you need to do to get there. Or even like starting to, you know, put aside money for, you know, the child or the college fund, or, you know, figure out what space they're going to be in, or redecorate, like all those things. You could start setting things energetically in motion. The other thing this is really great for is calling in intimacy on a sexual level. So if that's something that you're craving and you want more of, and you want it to be like long lasting, like a long lasting intimacy and passion on that physical level, this is a really great time to call that in and draw that in as well. And then for Leo and for Leo rising. For Leo, this new moon is happening in your 4th house, which is the house of home, family, property, and real estate. And I love this energy, Leo, for setting intentions for anything that you want to come home to. What do you want your home life to look like? What do you want your family life to look like? What do you want to have your private time look like? Do you need more space and solitude and quiet? And like, I feel like for Leos, even though you're just out there in the world, you're very like big energy, because that, especially if you're a Leo rising, because your 4th house is in Scorpio, there's a lot that you keep private, and you really want your private life to be like this sanctuary space. And this is the time to call that in, draw that in energetically. Like, what is it that you truly desire for your home? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? What do you want that experience to be like? What do you want your family relationships to look like? This is a really great time for you to heal through any old childhood wounds, family trauma. If there's any difficulties where there's a disconnect from your parents, this is a really great time to set intentions around deepening intimacy. And if there is a desire to purchase a home, this would be one of the best times to like feel that sensation of that home and like why you truly want it. Like, not because, oh, I want a pretty home or I want like a mansion or whatever, but like, what is the why? Does it feel safe to you? Does it feel secure? Does it feel comfortable? Does it feel like you're being held? Does it feel like, what does that feel like? And like, that is what you truly desire. Call in that feeling. And this is a great time where if you set those intentions, the money can come in for like a loan or whatever it is that you need. If you start taking the steps now to do your research and to start putting things in motion. But again, this is an energy that might manifest fully like 6 months from now. So keep that in mind too. And then for Virgo and for Virgo rising, this new moon in the sign of Scorpio is a beautiful energy in your 3rd house, which is the house of communication. This is a really great time to call in deeper intimacy through having those deep tougher conversations, but in a really beautiful, meaningful way. This is also a really great way or a really great time to manifest what you truly need, want, and desire when it comes to just your connections and conversations and your community. Like, what do you want your community to look like? What do you want your neighborhood to look like? What do you want your interactions on a day-to-day basis to look like? This is also a really great time to set intentions for sharing information like blogging, doing something maybe with social media, doing something, with like newsletters or writing or making videos or podcasts or something along those lines, like smaller pieces of informational content where it's really meaningful to you and you're sharing something that's really intimate. If that's something that you want to do, now's the time to do it. If there's a really important, deep conversation that you want to have with a partner where things have been a little hard or it's been feeling a little strenuous or like there's a weight on that partnership where it feels like there's more responsibility right now and things are just a little bit heavier, now's a time where you can go in and set intentions around how you want that to go, how you want that to feel, and then start taking steps toward actually working through whatever it is you need to work through in that relationship. Great energy for that. Also, if you need a new vehicle, you can call that in right now too. I use that as an example at the start of the video. Like if you really want a new car, don't just be like, I want a Lamborghini because it's fancy and I can show off. Like, what is the sensation that you're going for? If you truly deeply desire at a soul level, like this, like flashy energy where people are like envious of you, then great. Probably not what your soul wants, but like maybe it is. I'm not here to judge. But like, what is it that you actually want? Like a sensation of security, a sensation of freedom, like that. And then channel that into your intentions and then start taking steps to find the vehicle that you want over the next couple of weeks. And then for Libra and for Libra rising, this is a great time to set intentions around money, plain and simple. New moon in Scorpio in the second house, powerful time for money manifestation. So definitely channel the sensation, what you truly desire when it comes to your financial situation and how you want that to feel. So do you want that to feel like this sense of safety and security? Do you want that to feel like so much freedom? Do you want that to feel like power? Because for a Libra rising, you might. I mean, Scorpio in the second house, money is power and you know that. And that's okay to know that. That's okay to want that. That's okay to feel that. Whatever it is for you that money represents on a positive level, if you have negative stuff with money, this is the time to set intentions to change your money mindset and to let that go. Your parents' ideas about money, your ideas that everyone with money is evil and blah, 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 like this is the time to get rid of that too. So maybe that's what you're setting intentions around. But whatever positive feeling, the sensation of having an abundance of wealth gives you, this is the time to put that into your intentions and then make a plan and start taking action every single day in your daily habits, your daily routines, and in your work to build the foundation to create that wealth. This is wonderful for that for Libra. For Scorpio and for Scorpio rising. For Scorpio risings, this is happening in your sign. Whatever the heck you want to manifest, you are center stage right now. This is your cosmic reset. This is a really great time to have a reset when it comes to your health. This is a really great time to channel the things that you're passionate about and bring much more passion and like meaning and joy into your day-to-day experience through doing small things every single day to make that a reality. So what do you want your life to feel like? What do you want people to think of when they think of you? What do you want to feel like in your body? All of these things are really great things for Scorpios to think about, to feel into, and to channel into your intentions, and then to start taking action around over these next couple of weeks. And you'll be surprised what can happen. Like your whole life can change from this, especially if you're a Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising, anywhere from like 5 to 15 degrees, you're going to be feeling this in a really potent, really powerful way. And this is going to be, I think, really good for you. And whatever change you draw on, it's going to be long lasting. And then for Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. For Sagittarius rising, this new moon is happening in your 12th house. This is a time of a reset and a letting go. This is a time of rest. Like, what you need right now is rest. And what you want to set intentions around is rest, sleep, dreaming, spirituality and spiritual practices, the things that you do to decompress from the reality of the day-to-day experience, the mundane, the hard work, all of the action you've been taking. This is a time to take a step back from that and just be. This is a really wonderful time for Sagittarius people to go into a state of solitude or seclusion and to do some spiritual work, some inner work, some dream work even, and to set intentions for just more rest. Like, what do you want that to look like in your life? What do you want it to feel like when you're not always go, go, go? And how can you bring in more of that? How can you draw that in? That's going to be a really great energy for you. Around all of that. This is also a really great time to let go of anything that's no longer serving you. This is a big purge moment. Just like for Scorpios, it's in the first house. It's for drawing in whatever you want to draw in. For Sagittarius, this is for letting go of whatever the heck you want to let go of. If there are repeating cycles and patterns in your life where you're like, why am I doing this? I don't need this anymore. Cut cords, let it go. This is going to be a powerful time where if you feel that relief of that release, as you're setting your intentions. And then for the next 2 weeks after the new moon on November 1st, you start to take small measures every single day to actually cut yourself loose from those repeating patterns, those habits, those situations that no longer serve you. You're actually going to make quite a lot of progress. And then for Capricorn and Capricorn rising. For Capricorn, this is happening in your 11th house, which is the house of friends, social networks, and groups of people that you surround yourself with by choice. I love this energy for Capricorns. This is a beautiful time for deepening intimacy in your connections with your friends, with the people that you surround yourself with the people that you love to be around. I love this. This is a really great time to have deeper, more intimate conversations. If you need to draw in a new social group or new friends that are deeply loyal, that are trustworthy, that you can have those deeper conversations with, because maybe you don't have that. Maybe you have surface level friendships, which is not what you want as a Capricorn. This is the time to let those people kind of go and maybe have some conversations around that, but also to invite in new people that you can have that close connection with. Scorpio in the 11th house usually indicates that you have a few really close friends that are deeply loyal and that you're deeply loyal to. This could be deepening that connection with them through taking on more responsibility or like having these really important conversations, but this could also be drawing in someone new. And so that could be a really great energy for that too. Anything you want to set intentions for to start involving a group, like maybe you want to start a club or, join some sort of organization or social network, like this is a really great time to do that as well. And then for Aquarius and Aquarius rising, this new moon is happening in your 10th house, which is the house of career and public reputation. This is the time, Aquarius, to set intentions for your biggest and most powerful career goals and plans. Think about how you want your reputation to look like. Think about how you want it to feel, right? And this isn't just about career. This is about the mark that you make on the world. So what mark do you want to make on the world? What legacy do you want to leave behind? And how does that feel in your body? Like, what is that desire that you want to emanate into the world? What are you passionate about? How do you want to help others? How do you want to channel this energy? This is a great time to think about all of those things and set some really solid intentions around that, but also the practical side of it. What do you want your financial situation to look like as a result of those big career goals and plans when you achieve them? Because this is trining Saturn in your second house, which is all about a big restructuring and getting down to business when it comes to your money situation and your finances. And right now it might feel a little harder for whatever reason. Maybe you're saving for something. Maybe you had a big expense. Maybe you're working on debt. Maybe there was a restriction in your income. Now is a time where you can channel a situation through your career, through your public reputation, or through maybe connecting or forming a really important connection, like a deep bond with somebody in a position of power, authority, leadership who can help you in some way and further your goals. Really great time to connect with all of those types of intentions. And then over the next 2 weeks after November 1st, start slowly every single day making small moves toward those goals. All right. And then for Pisces and Pisces rising, last but never least, this is happening in your ninth house. This is a beautiful energy for Pisces. This is my favorite along with the Cancer rising people, because you're going to have this beautiful trine going on here. So Saturn's been in your first house, which is a heavy energy. Like, you're going through a cosmic reset and restructuring. When Saturn transits your first house, it's kind of like you're going through this period where you're extracting all of the value from the lessons and experiences and the hardships that you've endured over the last 30 years of your life. And so you're kind of extracting these beautiful lessons. You're like, wow, I've achieved so much, but you're also having to deal with all of this karma, all of this old stuff that no longer serves you, that you need to let go of, that you need to work very hard on letting go of, because this isn't a Pluto purge. This is like something where you have to take responsibility and ownership over what you've created, and then responsibly work on letting it go and not leaving a mess for other people. And so this is a big time. Like, you are going to be a very different person coming out of this Saturn first house transit. And it's been a lot. It still is a lot. And so this new moon energy is actually a really beautiful thing, because it's trining that Saturn and it's lightening the load a little bit. Now you get to think about your why, like the bigger perspective on why you're doing all of this, why you're even here. This is a time for you to reevaluate your beliefs that shape the world around you, your values, your moral compass, your ethical value systems, your religious beliefs, and how that actually shapes the way that you show up in the world, and what you bring to the table, and the way that you go about your life, the trajectory of your life. This is a really beautiful time also to set intentions for maybe learning something new. If there is something that you truly and deeply desire when it comes to expanding your knowledge base, now's the time to set intentions for that. Like, if you want to go back to school, if you want to get a master's degree, if you want to, take that program for that, maybe a very esoteric or occult topic, even because it's a Scorpio energy. Now's the time to draw in what that actually feels like what would having that knowledge feel like, and then start taking steps after November 1st toward actually achieving that goal. If there's a place that you want to travel to that you just feel so connected to, channel that energy. Like, what does that feel like going there for you? Like, does it feel like freedom? Does it feel like a vacation? Does it feel like you're being supported in some way? Does it feel like you're kind of getting a break and being escaping from the world? Like, what does that feel like in your body? Why do you desire that? Set that intention with that energy and with that desire, and then start taking steps, looking at dates, looking at flights, planning what you'll do on that vacation, even if you don't have money for it, because that's going to set things in motion. And then 6 months from now, when we have the full moon in Scorpio, who knows, maybe you'll be on that vacation. All right, and so that is my forecast for all 12 signs. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you share this with all of your friends so they can benefit from the information that I share with you today, so they can set their strongest intentions on this super powerful new moon. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.